We know that the Torah refers to Sukkos as a unique time of simcha, a unique time of joy on the Jewish calendar. In a sense, the Torah seems to look at Sukkos as an even greater holiday of joy than the other Yom Tovim, than Pesach, than Shavuos. And someone asked me the other day, how in the world are we supposed to relate to Simcha this year for Sukkot? It's such a difficult thing. Besides all the very concerning pieces of news that we hear about upticks and COVID and all of that, so many of us don't have sukkahs. We have to run from one place to another to just get kiddush or motzi, and even those of us who have sukkahs, so many of us aren't having people, and it seems hard to think about this sukkahs as a time of unique joy. I wanted to share one really brief thought that I saw from Rav Elimelech Bitterman, and he points out as follows, that about a month ago, we had the Parsha of the Tochacha in the Torah, where Moshe Rabbeinu tells Klal Yisrael strong words of rebuke of all the terrible things that will befall the Jewish people if they don't serve God appropriately. There's a really famous pasuk in the Tochacha, and that pasuk is Tachas asher lo avaratos Hashem Elokecha b'simcha v'tuv levav me'rov kol. That these things are happening, these calamities are befalling you because you didn't serve God with joy. There's a lot of discussion as to what the meaning and the intent of that pasuk is, but the basic meaning of the pasuk is the terrible things will befall you because you didn't serve God with joy. Rav Bitterman asks an extremely basic question. Where is that pasuk in the Tochacha? It's not at the beginning of the Tochacha, which would make sense because it would be, if you don't serve God with joy, all these things will happen. It's not at the end of the Tochacha, which would make sense because it would be, all these things happen because you didn't serve God with joy. It's right in the middle of the Tochacha. So you're just interrupting all the calamities to say, by the way, this is happening because you don't serve God with joy, and then let's keep on talking about the calamities. What a strange thing. So Rav Bitterman suggests as follows. There's joy before any problems come along. And that's, thank God, if things are going well in our lives, we can be happy. There's joy after the problems are over. God willing, when the day comes where the vaccine is out and everyone feels confident, people will be so happy, even if there's nothing terribly exciting, but just they don't have to worry about COVID with God's help, we'll be happy. But then Rav Bitterman says there's the real challenge of joy, which is to try to find a place for joy in our hearts when it's something in between. When it's not everything's going great and we're not out of the woods. We're still having problems. That, says Rav Bitterman, is what the Torah is implying to us by having this pasuk in the middle of the Tochacha. That the true way to serve God is to relate to our lives with joy even when we're not out of the woods. And he says that joy is not things are going well because so I'm happy. Rather, that joy is a philosophy. It's an outlook. Whatever is going on in my life is going on for a reason. If I can grab onto things that I understand why they're happening and that I feel good about why they're happening, wonderful. But even the things that I don't understand and I can't relate to why this would be happening in my life and the lives of others, I still have to take a step back and say, God does so much for me. There's so much good in my life. I just have to have faith on this one. And that's, as Rav Bitterman, is what the Torah is teaching us, is what real simcha, what a real life of simcha is. So I think that's worthwhile to think about for this Sukkot. It's just going to be a strange Sukkot. But the greatest way to relate to God with joy is at a time when things aren't exactly going our way. Thank God, not terrible, but not wonderful either. Have a wonderful Yom Tov, and may we all merit to find a sense of joy within it. Take care.